We're going to begin today's practice in a comfortable seated position. So however that may look in your body, maybe you're sitting up onto blocks or onto a pillow, cross-legged, or maybe sitting onto your knees. Whatever variation works for you, that you're able to maintain a tall, straight spine. And once you find that comfortable seat, we'll start to take some gentle rotations with the upper body. In both directions. Returning to your neutral, tall spine. Find length from the tailbone to the top of your head, and then we'll start to tip the right ear over towards the right shoulder, bringing a bit of a stretch into the left side of your neck. Gaze is neutral forward, and the left ear is reaching up to the sky. Depending on how much stretch you're feeling in the left side of your neck, you may choose to reach the left fingertips over to the left side, let them hover slightly above the floor, creating distance between the middle finger of the left hand and the top of your head as if they're reaching in opposite directions. Just checking in, making sure that the shoulders are even with one another, the back is straight. This is always a great one to do with your back up against a wall. Just noticing if the shoulders are rounding. Noticing if the right shoulder's creeping up towards the right ear rather than the right ear growing heavy. From here, we'll start to turn the gaze down towards the right armpit. You can keep the left arm long and straight, or you can start to bend at the left elbow. Bring the back side of the left hand to the low back. Just play with the position of the left elbow, maybe drawing it forward or backwards. See how that changes the stretch in the left side of your neck. And keep the left shoulder reaching away from the left ear and back behind you. And slowly release the left fingertips up and return to your lap. The chin slowly lowers down to the chest, coming through neutral. And gazing forward. Take a big breath in and reach up high. On an exhale, palms come to touch, hands meet in front of the heart. Big breath in, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, big breath in. This time the left palm is going to come to rest on the back of your head. Maybe reaching down towards the back of the neck, fingertips start to point down towards the floor. Right hand can come onto the left elbow and start to draw the left elbow in towards the midline and back behind you slightly. Keep the left shoulder drawn away from the left ear, sit up tall. The left palm of your hand is on the back of your neck, maybe even between the shoulder blades, with the fingertips pointing down towards the floor. Press down firm through the left hip as the left elbow reaches up towards the sky, with a neutral left shoulder. You can stay right as you are, or you can find a little bit of a side stretch by pressing firm through the left hip and starting to reach the left elbow up and over to the right. You're going to find you're not able to go as deep into the side stretch as you typically can with the arm extended. That's normal. Just pausing at that point of sensation, where you start to feel a stretch into the left shoulder, left arm, maybe down into the left ribs. Rise back up through center. Release the arms. Big breath in, reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. And this time we're going to take a big breath in and reach up. As you exhale, bring the arms out in front of you. Right arm's going to reach underneath of the left. Take hold of the outside of the left arm. Start to guide the left arm across your body over to the right side of the room. Left arm is straight and as close to parallel with the floor as you can get. The left palm is facing the wall behind you. As much as the left fingertips are drawn over to the right side of the room, the left shoulder is reaching towards the left and back behind you. And keeping it into its joint. You can use the right hand to guide the left fingertips over to the right. And pressing the left arm into the right into the left. Finding some activation through the entire left arm here. Slowly release. Give your shoulders a bit of a roll. In both directions. Big breath in, reach out and up. This time as you exhale, once again arms come out in front of you, left arm comes over top of the right. Bend at the elbows and take hold of opposite shoulders. Or you can start to draw the back side of the hands towards each other. Palms face away. Maybe you're able to go a little bit further, crossing at the wrists and bringing the palms to touch. An option here, if it's not quite accessible, is to use a strap to connect the hands, applying a little bit of pressure, drawing them towards one another. Whichever variation you've chosen, see if you can lift the elbows up in line with the shoulders. So don't let the elbows sink down towards the belly. Keep them lifted up high with the shoulders rolled back away from the ears and into their joints. If the palms come to touch, start to reach the forearms away from your face a little bit. Breathe space in between the shoulder blades, the upper back. Each breath in, drawing the shoulder blades away from each other as you squeeze the forearms towards each other. Each breath out, you find a little bit of softness. Take one more big breath here, find some length. As you exhale, start to round forward through the spine, draw the elbows towards the belly button, keeping that arm formation, chin to chest. Keep breathing into the space between the shoulder blades at the upper portion of your back. Rise back up as you breathe in. Slowly release the arms. Take those shoulder rolls, let it go. Rolling in the opposite direction. Perfect opportunity here if your legs are crossed to cross in the opposite direction. Bringing the opposite leg in front. We often have a default cross-legged position. We end up being a little bit tighter in one hip over the other because of it. So really take a moment to actively switch that cross-legged position whenever you think to do so. Return to that tall seated position, start to take some gentle rotations with the torso. Rotating the opposite direction. Find your center. Let the left ear come down towards the left shoulder. creating some length up the right side of your neck. Keep a tall spine here. Option to extend the right fingertips over to the right side of the room, letting them hover slightly above the floor. Extending from the right middle finger to the top of the head, as if someone's pulling you in each direction. Start to turn the gaze down towards the left armpit. Maybe you choose to bend at the right elbow. Bring the back side of your hand to your low back with the palm facing behind you. You can play with the alignment of your elbow, drawing it forward a little bit as the right shoulder draws back. Maybe alternating the chin, drawing it in close towards your chest, maybe lifting it slightly away. See where it feels best. Just making sure you're gazing down towards the left hip. Slowly release, allow the chin to come back down through center. Let the gaze come through neutral. Take a big breath in, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time we're going to breathe in, reach up. Bring the palm of the right hand to the back of your head. Start to point the fingers down towards the floor. Maybe the hand can come to the back of the neck or even between the shoulder blades. Left hand's going to rest on top of the right elbow. Draw it back towards the room behind you and in towards the midline. Keep the right shoulder blade reaching down into the ribs and down towards the floor. Stay sitting up tall. Keep the belly button drawn in, the low ribs tucked in as well to support your core. Option to stay as you are. We're going to find that little side bend, so breathe in, find some length. Press down firm through the right hip as you side bend over to the left. The right side of your chest and the right shoulder is going to want to creep towards the floor. Stay with a neutral spine. Stay facing the room in front of you rather than gazing down. Rise back up. Release the arms. Take a big breath in, reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time we're going to reach up. Bring the arms out in front of you, parallel. Left hand's going beneath the right. Take hold of the outside of the right arm, start to guide it across your chest. Right shoulder still reaching back to the room behind you. And right fingertips are reaching to the left with the arm as close to parallel to the floor as you can. You can use the left arm for a little bit of traction on the right arm as long as you keep the right arm firmly in its joint. Slowly release, right arm reaches up overhead, left as well. And this time right arm's going to cross over top of the left, meeting at the elbows. Take hold of opposite shoulders. Draw the back side of the hands towards one another, maybe using a strap to add some traction and walk the hands in closer. Or if you have space in your body to do so, you can cross at the wrist and bring the palms to touch. Sit up tall, bring the elbows in line with the shoulders drawn into their joints. Maybe you start to walk the forearms a little bit away from the face, find that tension, squeeze the forearms together. Drawing the shoulder blades apart with each breath in. And take a big breath in, find some length. On the out breath, rounding through the spine, elbows draw in towards the belly, chin to chest. Keep breathing deep into the space between your shoulder blades, feeling them peel away from each other. Rise back up. And slowly release the arms and take those gentle shoulder rolls in both directions. And from here, we're going to find our way into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll take a few cat and cows. So with a big breath in, lift the tailbone, belly drops, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. Slow breath out, rounding through the spine, tuck your tailbone, chin to chest, gaze to your belly. Inhale for cow, lifted tailbone, belly drops, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. On the exhale, scoop the tailbone, rounding through the spine like a Halloween cat. Press firm through the hands, hollow at the chest, gaze to the belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Take 3 more at your own pace. No rush to get there, but when you've finished your 3, just landing in a neutral spine. From your neutral tabletop, walk the knees in a little bit closer towards the wrists. Turn the fingertips to point outwards to the sides of your mat. So the base of the palm where it meets the wrist is in towards the center midline. The fingertips are spread wide, pointing to the outer edges of your mat. Shoulders still over the wrist, the knees can be a little bit closer to them. And we're just going to start to take some circles with the torso. So the shoulders are rotating around the wrist, drawing big circles, staying firm through all 4 corners of the palm on the mat. And if this is a little too much, just start to make smaller circles. The bigger the circles, the more tension you're going to start feeling in the wrists. This is an area that a lot of us overuse, wear and tear through work, as well as just working on computers and cell phones. So it's nice to just loosen up a little bit, find some motion through the joint. And circle the opposite direction. Making sure to move slowly and listen to your body. Look for those areas of tension. Pause in the center. We're going to continue to walk the fingertips, this time facing them towards the knees. So you're still in a tabletop position. Palms are on the floor, fingertips spread wide, but now they're pointing towards the knees as if they're on backwards. You can have the knees close towards the fingers, or you can have it in a normal tabletop position. Shoulders over the wrist. If it's a little too much, you may find you want to walk the knees closer and bring the shoulders a little beyond the wrist, just to ease off on that pressure. You want to feel a little bit of a stretch through the wrist and lower arm, but never any pinching or pain through joints. If you're in the position not quite feeling a stretch or have room to go a little bit deeper, you can tuck the toes behind you. Start to sink the hips down towards the heels. Pause it when you feel the stretch, but keep pressing the base of your palm into the mat. I have a lot of range of motion through my wrists, so don't be surprised if mine looks a lot deeper than yours. Mine actually borderline on looking creepy, so don't use mine as a base of comparison. Listen to your body. Notice when you start feeling the stretch and pause there, coming out at any time that it becomes too much. Now, the longer that you hold this, you'll start to find more range of motion over time. But being patient with yourself. Slowly come back to your natural tabletop position. Release the hands one by one. And lift the right hand, take a few gentle circles with the wrist in both directions. Lifting the left wrist, circling there in both directions. From your tabletop, walk the knees back a couple of inches. Bring the shoulders over the wrist for a modified plank. Hips in line with the knees and shoulders. Belly button and lower ribs draw in to support your core. Take a big breath in to lengthen through your spine. As you breathe out, bend the elbows, let them graze the ribs and lower down onto your belly. The palms on the floor beneath the shoulders, keep the elbows drawn in towards the ribs and back towards the heels. The shoelace side of your feet and all 10 toenails are pressing into the mat, so much so that the knees start to lift and the legs become active. We're going to take an inhale to lengthen and lift collarbones, and 1 or 2 ribs come up off of the mat. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower, each time coming a little bit higher. Inhale, lengthen and lift. This time we're going to hold the lift. So holding your baby cobra but not your breath. Pressing firm through the tops of your feet. Long spine. Open chest, and the gaze is to the floor 6 or 8 inches beyond the fingertips and not the room in front of you. You want little to no weight in the hands here. We want to use the strength of our back to lift up, not the palms of our hands. And take 1 more big breath here. Exhale, slowly lower, and let the big toes come to touch. The heels go wide apart. Slide the arms back behind you with the palms facing up and turn the gaze to the right. Just taking a few breaths here on our belly. Relaxing through the low back. Letting go of any tension that may have developed there. Bring your gaze back through center. Draw the heels towards each other. Palms of the hands return to the floor beneath your shoulders for your baby cobra. Only this time we're going to walk the hands a little bit wider apart to the edges of your mat or even a little bit further beyond. Elbows now are pointing up towards the sky, as if they're spider legs. With the legs extended long behind you, shoelace side the feet on the floor. Just check in on the low back. If you're feeling a little bit of discomfort here, you can create some space between the feet. That'll help ease off the pressure in the low back. With the palms on the floor, keep a long neutral spine all the way up to your neck. We're going to press down through the palms this time. As you inhale, lift up for a wide arm cobra. You can use the arms a little bit here to lift yourself higher. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, keep your gaze to the floor. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up and hold. So holding the lift once again, but not the breath. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, dip down just the right shoulder towards the mat. Left shoulder's lifting up towards the sky. Right shoulder lifts on an inhale. Exhale, left shoulder dips down, right shoulder lifts up. Keep your gaze neutral. Lift back up on the inhale. Exhale, lower the right. It's okay if the shoulder doesn't touch the floor. Rise up as you breathe in, keep pressing through the feet. Exhale, lower the left. Just alternating here from side to side. Following your own rhythm of breath. And watching for any pinching or pain in the low back. If that's happening, maybe don't rise up quite as high. Or create some space between your feet. Taking one more in each direction. And then lowering slowly with control. Release the arms at your sides, big toes come to touch, heels go wide apart. Turn your gaze to the left. Again, taking this opportunity to really relax through the low back. A little belly shavasana to find some stillness, reconnect with your breath. Bring the gaze back through center. Heels come back to center as well. Return the hands to cobra position, so palms on the floor beneath the shoulders. Keep the left hand just as it is. Extend the right arm long beside you. Roughly at a 90-degree angle from the body. And from here, bend at the elbow, with the palms still on the floor, bringing the fingertips to the rim in front of you. So it's as if you're coming into a cactus-like position with the arms, or a capital L. Legs are still straight behind you. I'm just bending mine so that my arm is in the camera for you to see a little bit better. With the right palm on the floor, a bend in the elbow. Keep the entire right arm in contact with the floor. Just checking in, making sure that the elbow is in line with the shoulder. And from here, we're going to start to push down a little bit of weight into the left palm. Start to lift the left shoulder up off of the mat. You can let your head keep resting on the floor. We're rolling the chest and torso over that right shoulder and arm. Using the left palm to press into the mat, lifting the left shoulder off of the mat and showing your chest to the left side of the room. If you find it's a little too much, you can always bend at the knees, bringing them out in front of you. If you'd like a little bit more, with the right leg extended long, you can bend through the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot to the floor behind you like a kickstand. Reaching the left knee up towards the sky and back behind you to deepen the twist. And apply a little more pressure into the right arm and shoulder. Just being really mindful here, especially if you have any history of shoulder injuries, that you're not going past the point of sensation. Finding the level that works best for you. Slowly find your way back onto your belly. Bring the right palm back to the floor beneath the shoulder for cobra arms. We're going to extend now the left arm out beside, palm faces the floor. Right arm stays in that cobra position. Bend the left elbow, left palm on the floor. Start walking the left hand towards the rim in front of you, coming into that cactus formation with the left arm. Left elbow's roughly in line with the left shoulder at a 90-degree angle at the elbow. Left palm stays in contact with the floor, left elbow stays on the floor as well. Start to press down through the right palm, lifting the right shoulder and heart up off of the mat. The right hip's gonna lift up as well. We're just rolling our body weight over that left shoulder. Decide the leg variation that's gonna work best in your body. So if you're a little bit tight, you may want to bend through both knees, bringing them in towards the chest. If you have a little more space to go deeper, legs can stay straight. Bend at the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot to the floor behind you and open up the right knee towards the sky and maybe towards the room behind you. Keep pressing gently through the right palm, lifting the right shoulder and chest up towards the sky. Taking one more big breath here. And slowly find your way back down onto your belly. Bring the palms to the floor beneath the shoulders. Press through the hands, find your way up to a tabletop pose. From your tabletop, a gentle sway from side to side, let that go. Bringing your shoulder to your hip and then the other side. In your tabletop, we want to keep the hips directly above the knees, so we're not sinking back into a child's pose quite yet. Hips stay lifted, start to walk the fingertips towards the end of the mat. So you're now in a very long tabletop with the hips over the knees. From here, we're going to slowly lower the heart and gaze down towards the mat, working towards bringing the heart and forehead to the floor. It's okay if they don't touch, and if you're feeling a little tight through the shoulders, you can always bring a bend into the elbows here. And if you do make it down to the mat, the heart and the forehead are reaching the floor, you can bring the gaze forward, reaching the chin down to the floor with the heart. Puppy pose. I'm just looking for a bit of a heart opener here. A back bend. Keep the tailbone lifting high. And the heart sinks heavy to the floor. And keeping the shoulders drawn away from the ears. A sense of openness through the chest. Slowly find your way back up to tabletop. Walking the hands in beneath the shoulders. Let the big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels. Now we're finding our way into a child's pose. Allow the forehead to come to rest on the floor or onto a block or pillow. Let this one be really passive here. So relax through the elbows. Let the forearms rest on your mat. And breathing space into the low back, the pelvis, the hips. And breathing into the mid back, where the ribs meet your spine. And breathing into the upper back, and the space between your shoulder blades. And breathing into the entire back body as one. Feel that sense of expansiveness, of openness to the entire back body with every breath. Finding a sense of softness to the arms, and allowing the forehead to rest on the floor. Maybe taking a gentle rock from side to side with the forehead, massaging the third eye, stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, triggering the rest and digest response in your body. Allowing it to feel safe, so it's able to relax into stillness. And you're welcome to stay here in this child's pose for as long as you have available to you. If you do feel ready to get up and go a little bit sooner, you're welcome to do so. Just do so slowly and mindfully, taking with you a sense of peace that you've cultivated here on your mat, with you into the rest of your day. With such gratitude as always, Namaste.